for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Here's 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Here we go.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line.
Right.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DJ Moore, 50 yards. And the Bears take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 25. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They run with Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Hands it off out of the gun. Now he's loose again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay.
And, oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Here we go, son.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six. And now here's another interception. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. CD, this defense, man. At this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
In on the tackle there, Brandon Smith.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
162 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So on 4th down, Kevin Stefanski trots out the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go, son.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not. They've got his man complete. Down to the 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
Lutz good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
Second and 9 now from the 21. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And good sideline-to-sideline tackling there as they're going to get him down a couple yards short of the first. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is brought in at the 21. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest. He's got a man complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. An explosive 38-yard. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. To throw is Fields. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it.
Here we go.
That should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He finds his man, complete. It's Simmons. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Now Watson going to change the look here.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And taken right at the 35. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go, Si.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Browns, it's a critical win for them as it